Hello, welcome to January 2022 monthly beauty favorites and fails. I have a lot of great products I'm excited to share with you today and a couple of pretty big fails. I'll do my best to keep my thoughts condensed yet thorough since I'm basically combining December and January. I didn't do a favorites and fails for the first time ever, I think, in December because I was doing a lot of year-end favorites videos. So I have a lot to cover today. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Let's go ahead and get into these products that I loved and didn't in January and December. I don't always share what I'm wearing on my face first, but throughout the video, I'm going to be topping over this with some of the products that I'm sharing with you so you can see what they look like. So I'm going to talk about this palette from Pure first that they launched with Nabella. I have been reaching for this quite a bit. This is a face palette. It's got 2 blushes, 2 possible highlighters, and 3 shadows. I mean, you could use any of these as shadows or face products if you want to. The swatches you're seeing are swiped on with 1 finger. I find the quality to be just lovely with this palette. The blush that I have on very lightly is this peach blush right here. I also have it in my transition on my eye. You could use a bronzer if you want, but kind of like this contrast. Now today on my lids, I applied this gold shade. You can also use any of these shades on your lids depending on your coloring. I've used this pink and this light shade. I think if you have medium to deep skin tones, this deeper gold and this brown kind of shimmery shade would be really pretty. That is what I have in my outer corner and lightly in my crease. Just in a subtle way, I just felt like it needed a little bit of something in those areas. Now you could also use this matte brown there if you didn't want to put a shimmer, but I do find this to be very flattering. It's a very easy palette to use. There's also a nice big mirror and the lip goes with it really nicely. It is what I have on my lips today. It is a long wearing formula that I find to be very flattering and comfortable. I'm so picky on long wearing lip formulas because a lot of them are not flattering. If you have vertical lip lines, they can be very drying and uncomfortable. This is a formula I've really been enjoying. These were surprises for me. I don't know if I just haven't delved into Pure makeup enough. That's a possibility because these are fantastic. Let me know below what your Pure favorites are so I can check them out. I am very intrigued after trying these. I love it when I can get a full eye look from beginning to end from a single palette and not have to dip into anything else. I also love it if I can get a variety of looks from said palette, and it gets bonus points if the palette is small, and that is the case with the new-ish Natasha Denona Mini Biba palette. Now, because I talked about this in a recent video, I'm going to keep this kind of short and sweet. I think the fact that this shade right here is so great to line with is what makes this palette so versatile and so useful to me. As much as I love my other Natasha Denona Mini Biba palettes, and I do love them, this one I just cannot seem to quit using. Whether it's for an amped up full out look or whether it's for a simple kind of one and done look or something in between, this has fantastic Natasha Denona quality. It's just a versatile, easy to use palette I cannot stop reaching for. So if you are looking for that palette that will give you amped up neutrals, something a little bit special that's in a compact format and also gives you an option to line with it to where you can basically just apply mascara and you're done, I would check this out. I've been loving it. I added a little something to my lips. They have some shine. They didn't a while ago. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But first, I want to share this Tarte cream bronzer and blush palette. This is from their Breezy line. I've talked many times on my channel about the Breezy cream bronzer and blush. The formula is fantastic. So I was definitely intrigued by this. I think the quality is amazing. It's the same quality that you get from their single product. You can see the pigmentation from 1 finger swipes, and yet they don't over apply product. They just apply beautifully. They set down nicely and the pigment lasts as well. So this is the bronzer that I have on today. I don't have powder bronzer on over anything. I just applied this underneath my powder products. It applies easily. And I combined the 2 cream blushes underneath my powder products today just so you could kind of see how they apply. This formula from Tarte is just a no-fail cream formula. It's easy to use. It's quick to use. So it's kind of a no-brainer. You get a lot of value and quality already in this palette. My complaint is that there's not a second palette for darker skin tones. I think you could see from the application that if you have my skin tone or lighter, this shade will work that's in here. If your skin tone is any darker than mine, if you're medium to deep, this is not going to work. And because they have, or at least they had at one time, a darker shade of cream bronzer, the single, I just would think that they would release a deeper palette. I hope that's coming. I don't know why they wouldn't have released it at the same time, but there definitely needs to be an option for deeper skin tones. If you have light, medium to fair skin, I think that you'll really love this. Even if you don't like cream products, I think this is a great introductory product to try because it's so easy. The fail portion for me of this is that there's not a palette for deeper skin tones. The lip that I applied a little bit ago is also from Tarte. These are the Maracuja Juicy Lips. I wasn't sure how I felt about these when I first got them, but then I found myself using them over and over and over again. My niece in college is also obsessed with these. She thinks that they are so amazing. She would have them in every color if she could. Because of the consistency, these are a little bit hard to swatch. I'll get into that here in a second, but the shade that I applied earlier is called Bloom. It's limited edition, I do believe, along with the blush that they launched with the full Bloom palette. They may make it permanent at some point, I don't know, but right now I think it's limited edition and it's such a great shade. This shade right here is called Orchid, so you can see they're both very wearable, and I feel like most shades that they have are pretty wearable. So the applicator, the way it's designed, just makes this so ideal for throwing in your purse or your bag or whatever and applying it on the go. It's got this nice slant to it, and the size is just perfect for application without needing a mirror. There is a click up mechanism, which I usually kind of have issue with. However, I've used several of these and none have malfunctioned on me. They work really well. I also find that because they click up such a tiny amount at a time, you really don't run the risk of clicking up too much and wanting to push it back down. So the texture of these is really soft. I mean, when you go to swatch them, you almost smush the bullet. You just need a light hand when you apply these and you get nice pigment. There's a thicker texture, which at first seems a little odd, but then you realize it's not sticky. That thicker texture just feels really nourishing and juicy, like the name says. All the benefits and the color stay on longer than a traditional tinted balm. I have one that I keep here at my vanity, one in my purse, one in my tote bag. I mean, I kind of just have these everywhere because I really just love them. They're so easy and they give pigment, but they feel good too. You do need to know that about the softness of them when you apply them, because at first it was a little bit confusing, but I've grown to love them. They're a go-to. I just love this texture. You know, I love a good one and done eyeshadow, a good cream shadow stick, anything that I can just apply and go and that will look really nice and flattering. So It Cosmetics has their new Superhero No Tug eyeshadow sticks, and I got the shade Super Slate. So I swatched it here. We have it just scribbled on here and I kind of blended it out. I don't know what this is. This is left over for something else. So these are just your traditional twist up eyeshadow sticks. I love that I can scribble this on my eyelid. It gives me time to blend out the edges either with my finger or with a brush. And these don't dry down to where they're unflattering, which is an issue the older that we get. These dry down and look the way they do after they're applied. I was debating whether or not to get a metallic or sheen or a matte shade. I probably should have gotten both, but I really wanted to see how metallic or shimmery their shimmer was. I feel like this is super flattering for anyone. It's very subtle. You can sheer it out or go more dramatic. The wearability is really great. Great launch from It Cosmetics. I've been loving this and I do intend to get more shades. Just to let you know, I dampened a tissue and started wiping at this. I'm gonna have to get a makeup wipe. This hasn't even been on my hands that long, and that is how nicely this stays. Sometimes when new products come out and they're launched as limited edition, you have to wonder why, especially after you try them and they're just so good and can be worn any season and are great for any skin tone. So this is one of those products. This is the Nars Afterglow Cheek Palette. This is an example of a cheek palette done right. There are shades in here for any skin tone, light to deep, and they're also very unique. You do not see these shades everywhere. So this is just that, you know, quintessential champagne pearl highlight. This is what I applied before coming on for this segment. I did go a little bit heavy with it because I wanted you to be able to see it, but you can go light-handed if you have fair skin. I even think medium skin tones could get away with this middle shade if they wanted. The swatches on the back of my hand are laid out as this palette is laid out, just a little FYI. So these are also one finger swatches. This is the highlight. This is that shade that I applied. And then this is that scary looking purple shade. It's not so scary. And especially when it's diffused out, it looks really pretty. I mean, all of these shades could be stunning. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of this, just a pop maybe somewhere on my cheek. The quality of this palette is just so good. So I'm gonna be on serious blush overload, but I love this shade because I feel like you typically either get rosy shades or coral shades, and this is somewhere in between. And you know what? I am going to go in with this shade on this side, and we're just gonna have to top over this before the next segment. But I want you to see that it's not scary, especially if you have darker skin tones. It could be really, really stunning. Keep in mind, my application is probably lacking because I applied these really, really quickly over other shades. This is that red shade. I have light medium skin tone. You could easily wear it, and I went heavier and blotchier. If you have deeper skin tone, it's gonna be so beautiful. And this is this middle shade right here, applied kind of haphazardly. It's just beautiful. The quality of this palette is amazing. I don't know how long this is going to be available, but I'm so glad I have it, and I love it. Okay, so I buffed out my cheeks with the two deeper shades of my By Terry powder palette that I love so much. And I think I look a little bit more like I came in from the cold rather than someone who has clown cheeks. Maybe this side has a little bit more red than this side, but that's okay. We're all friends here. We know what's going on in this video. I'm just trying to show you some colors. I think we're good. So let's talk about a mascara that I am in love with. It's the mascara that I have on today, which to some of you may not look like a lot, but for me, with my straight, sparse, wimpy lashes, this is pretty incredible from a non-waterproof mascara. So this is the Benefit They're Real Magnet Mascara. Now the They're Real original is my daughter Brooke, who is 16. It's her favorite. So anytime I've ever gotten that or gotten a little mini size, I pass it over to her. Well, I got this, and because it says it's just a lengthening formula, and because it's got the spiky wand, I wasn't expecting a lot. It delivered so much more than anything I was expecting. It holds my curl without it being a waterproof formula, which is something that's very rare. Now, when I do find that rare mascara that holds my curl, it usually provides nice daytime volume and length. It's not, you know, something that's gonna take me through to the evening or build enough to where I can have it be my nighttime mascara. I usually, if I need great volume and length, will use a waterproof underneath a more dramatic formula. This gives me everything. I can apply this with no waterproof formula underneath. It completely holds my curl. It gives me length, but it also volumizes and it leaves my lashes feeling super soft and fluffy. They feel like feathers. I'm so happy with it. I can build it or, you know, leave it for a daytime look. I have been using this every day. This is becoming a go-to for me that I was not expecting. I know Benefit is known for their mascaras, but this is one that I love. I think I like this even more than I like Roller Lash, and Roller Lash is one of my daytime mascaras that holds my curl. Just doesn't build as much. This one does. Until now, I have had one single natural deodorant that has continued to work for me. Every other one that I've tried has either given me a burning, painful rash after a few days or a week or so, or they eventually stop working. I've gone through several of the Drunk Elephant Sweet Pity deodorants. It's the one I swear by. It's the only one that I can really use, but I love it. I also find it's worked for me longer than non-natural deodorants. Like, it's kept working. You know how deodorants just eventually quit working on you? It hasn't. Well, Necessaire launched the deodorant gel. I love it. I don't typically like roll-on deodorants. I find them wet and gross. They take forever to dry. This one applies easily. I mean, it's a roll-on. It dries quickly. It keeps me odor-free all day. More importantly, I do not get a painful rash or burning sensation or anything from it. I love this. Now, I have the eucalyptus scent, but it does come fragrance-free as well. I never tried their other deodorant. I hear it's really good. I I'm loving this and I'm shocked by it because, you know, this formulation just typically doesn't do it for me. I'm happy to have two options now. This is the one that I've been reaching for most lately, and I feel like I've barely even used any, and I've been using it pretty consistently for several weeks now. So there's another necessary product that I love. This brand is just a huge hit for me all around. Somebody asked me in my recent empties video what conditioner I was using with some of the shampoos and things that I was talking about in that video. And I said I was going to be talking about it in today's video. Well, Day, I think this is pronounced Day, is the shampoo and conditioner that I've been using lately. The fragrance is so good on this. I find it doesn't really stick in my hair. It's just a nice experience for me in the shower. Now, the reviews on this are mixed. If I had just totally listened to the reviews, I probably never would have bought this. I just find shampoo and conditioner experiences are so vastly different for people. And for me, both of these have been really nice for my fine hair that needs body, but I don't want to dry it out. I want it to still have shine. And I find that these work really nicely. But I will say that I tend to rotate my shampoos more than my conditioner because I go through shampoo faster. So, you know, I have this much conditioner left, but I'm almost finished with the bottle of shampoo. This is the conditioner I've been using with all of the shampoos that I've been rotating lately, whether it's the matching shampoo, my Olaplex Bondi Boost, or my weekly detoxes, or I guess I should say every other week, with my Way Detox shampoo. It just gives me the adequate hydration that my hair needs, but it doesn't weigh my hair down either. Aside from my scalp volumizing spray, this has been the only product that I've been putting on my hair lately, and I've been really enjoying it. This is the Verb Ghost Prep. This is a weightless moisture product and a frizz fighting product as well. Yeah, heat protection and frizz control. I just apply about a nickel-sized dollop of it, I guess. I just wanted to show you what it looked like. It's just kind of this milky, translucent color. I don't notice a huge scent to it either, but I find it to be really nice. It keeps my hair nice and as frizz-free as it can be here in New Orleans. I think it's actually made for fine hair. It says it primes fine hair for weightless styling, and I find that that's what it does. It gives me nice volume and shine and protection and frizz control, and that's exactly what I need, and I love that it's in an all-in-one. Before I move on to the rest of my favorite products, I want to go ahead and talk about a couple of fails that I have because I don't want to end the video on a bad note, on a negative note. So I'll talk first about this Physicians Formula Butter Coffee Bronzer. Have you tried this? This came out with a couple of other bronzers of a similar type, and they had some oversprays of some, you know, cute little shapes on here, coffee vibes. I am inhaling so much scent right now. It's just overwhelming, and I love the regular butter bronzers. This is too much scent in my opinion, but that's not the only reason why I don't like it. This has so much product kick up. It goes everywhere. It got on my clothes. It left tap marks on my face, even if I tapped my brush off first. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. It's almost like there's particles that go in my mouth and up my nose. I have to close this. It's just too much. I don't think I've had a reaction like this to a product before. It's just, ugh, to get this mess off of me. To be in the butter line, it is nothing like the original butter bronzer formula. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking with the formula in the first place, but putting it in the butter line, because you typically don't get any kick up from the butter bronzer, and they have a more subtle scent. I know some would disagree, but if you compared the two, it is night and day. As a coffee lover, I just thought they were so cute, and I was so disappointed at the execution. Just no. It's not often that a foundation makes it into my monthly favorites and fails. I typically save those for foundation roundups, foundation reviews. They're dedicated to foundations. But if a foundation stands out to me as being so bad, it needs to be in my monthly favorites and fails, because some of you may not see that foundation roundup and you need to know how this performs. So this is the Bobbi Brown Intensive Serum Foundation. It has broad spectrum SPF 40. Now, with as much as I love this Bobbi Brown foundation, the official name of this is the Skin Longwear Fluid Powder Foundation, I talk about this all the time as being one of my favorite skin-like foundations, one of my favorite long-wearing skin-like foundations. I thought I was gonna love this. I thought this might be a better option for those with, you know, maybe super dry skin. I could not get this to work on my skin. I had to wash it off so many times because it just wouldn't sit properly on my skin. I'm not gonna go into all the details because those are in that foundation roundup. I'll link it down below and up here in the corner. It's got 5 new releases in it if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on those. But you know, I usually test out foundations for several days. I do wear tests with different primers, different powders. I couldn't even do that with this because I couldn't wear it. I couldn't get the application right no matter what I applied before it. It just looked terrible. This was such a fail, and this is $72. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. The reviews are good, but it seems like the people who don't like it really don't like it, and I guess I fall in that camp. It just sat on top of my skin. It emphasized every bit of texture I didn't know I had. It was just awful. This is such a random favorite. This is another surprise. I mean, I got it for a specific reason, but now I kind of want a few for other specific reasons. So this is a spray bottle, which you think, okay, why? Why do you like this? It's the spray. It is amazing. And you can also get this in different sizes. I can't remember the size that I ended up with. I'll put it down below along with the link for this and all the other products in this video. Now I'm about to get everything wet when I demonstrate this, but you have to see this spray. It's like this continuous stream. Yep, I got all wet, but that's okay. You needed to see that spray. I never thought I would be so excited about a spray bottle, but when I saw how the spray worked, I thought it was going to be more like a facial mist spray or a setting spray, but it's almost got this automatic thing that keeps going. I don't know, I'm just so enthralled with it. So I got it originally to re-wet my hair when I'm using my air wrap because you don't want your hair to get too dry. I know, I still haven't done my review on that, but I feel like it would be good for so much more, whether it's, you know, cooling off with it in the summertime, using it to mist your face, using it for plants or laundry, whatever. I don't know. I just never thought I would be this excited about a spray water bottle. It's really good. I'm trying to get back into reading, and my daughter is an avid reader, and she picked out my first book to get me back into it, and it is this one. I highly recommend it if you are someone who used to be an avid reader, but life got in the way, you got busy, and you just don't have the time anymore. I do think this is a good book to start with. It's engrossing, but it's an easy read. I enjoyed it, and now I'm actually looking forward to reading more. She has my second book picked out for me, and I'm hoping I'll be able to tell you whether I liked it or not in next month's monthly favorites. I'm hoping to read at least a book a month, which if I had said that years ago, that would have been nothing. But now, you know, life gets in the way, and now it's an accomplishment to read that much. But this was a great book. I mean, people are loving it. They're talking about it everywhere for good reason. I know a lot of you are curious about the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation and the new Nars foundation and some other new releases. I just reviewed those in my recent foundation roundup. I'll have it linked here for you. Thank you so much for watching this video to everyone, and a big special thank you to my Stephanie Marie Circle members for going above and beyond to support the channel, and for the premium members for going above and beyond to support this channel. It means so much to me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you all found this video enjoyable and helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.